If you've ever skied all day in freezing weather, you know the only thing better than the mountain is what happens after. When the boots come off, the fire gets going, and the real fun begins. Welcome to Vermont. One of the things that's really interesting about the term après-ski is it literally is just French for after ski. So it's just what you do after skiing. And I think it makes total sense, right? This originated in like the French and Swiss Alps where it is incredibly freezing cold and you need to take that time after an exhausting day. And that sentiment is shared across every ski mountain that I've ever been on across the world, to be honest. Because skiing is a full body, all day activity, and it'll take it out of you. And what refuels you better than a hot drink, a strong drink, salty food, things that are high in fat and calories, and things that you can enjoy around a cozy fire while you chat with friends and have this like collective community decompression moment. That's really what it's all about. Even though today we're doing après-ski in the ski house, yesterday I had après-ski at the mountain with a wonderful group of people from Long Island. You all just sit there, you're having a beer, you chat about your day, where you're from, how your day was, where'd you go, what trails you do, how long you've been skiing, all the things, right? And it builds this sense of community and this communal sense of like, okay, we worked hard today, let's have a little treat. And my favorite treat for an après-ski is something warm and cozy. And personally, my favorite is a pretzel. Pretzels, charcuterie, grilled cheese, and soup. And that's what we're going to be doing today. And I'm going to show you how we put it a little bit together. But I just want you all to share in this experience. Come sit at the table and enjoy the après-ski with us. Because we all deserve a little treat. Even if you didn't go skiing all day. Even if you didn't shred all of day. Because let me tell you, my thighs are burning up. And after that many runs, I think our legs have earned something bubbly. Mazel. To warmth, to winter, to surviving the mountain. But yesterday, even when I was at the bar, I was enjoying a nice beer. The only other thing I saw people get besides beer were old fashions and old women getting glasses of Chardonnay. That's literally all I saw. And I took notice because I was waiting for Aaron to finish his ski lesson. So I was sitting there alone just being nosy. And what's more me than that? Okay, this is just our little pick-me-up, if you will, while we get everything going. We are also going to crack open a beer because I am going to show you how I'm going to make beer cheese. Now, here's the thing. This is about to get a little bit complex because this is not, whoa. We are just staying at this rental property, right? So I tried to bring along as much stuff as possible to enjoy this time and experience, but I faulted on a lot of things because life gets busy. I'm constantly making content for y'all, working. We just have life, right? And so I would say, forget or choose not to bring a lot of ingredients. And I'm going to show you how we're going to be real creative and make this work, okay? I did make this roasted garlic and Parmesan sourdough bread. This was an experiment, so I think it was a little underbaked, but I froze it. You'll see that it looks a little kind of crusty on the end. They do have a bread knife here, but this morning I did have this in the freezer. And so I had to let this thaw out today so I could even just do that there. But we'll clean her up. We'll get some nice slices, and I have lots of cheese to go with it. So we have Parmesan garlic sourdough that will become delicious grilled cheese and tomato soup. We have Clarky's homemade pretzels. Now, I did not think that I was going to make pretzels for this video. It was a venture that I just recently took on, and I will put some of the content in. I didn't really film it because I was experimenting with pretzel baguettes, and I was so hankering for a pretzel baguette that the Clark pretzel was born out of it. Now, do they all look this good? No. Look at this thumb. Okay? We really tried, but she's not as gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful as our other one. She's a little center thick, little, phallic, and that's fine. We still have them, and I made them, and that's pretty cool. So let's do it. I've been skiing for about 10 years, and I won't lie, making it down a hard trail that when you started no one else was on still does something for my ego. But the quiet at the top of the mountain, that's the real reward. And eventually, you'll trade that view for grilled cheese. I know you also may be thinking that this is a lot of cheese. There is cheese in the bread. We are making beer cheese. We have grilled cheese. And let me just say, have I ever made a video that was lactose friendly? Make sure you sample for poisoning purposes, not just because it's delicious. Welcome to Clark's Table, where in every video I will struggle with a can opener and just give it to Aaron to open anyways. Also, if you want better canned soup, add the milk instead of water. It makes it so much creamier if you're into that. We ended up doing olive oil for the grilled cheese because I didn't have butter, but wait till you see how crispy these come out. Sometimes you gotta try something new. We did some classic American cheese, and when I said lactose unfriendly, I meant it. I bet you thought that other shot was the crispy shot. That's what I'm talking about with a crispy grilled cheese. And then we did just broil the pretzels in the oven really quick to reheat them. They didn't really need much else than that. Now we're gonna make beer cheese. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna finesse this a little bit. They only have giant pots, so giant pot it is. We're not gonna be making this much. You all are going to think I'm crazy because I am, but this is how we're about to do this, okay? So, normally, what you would do is basically you make the equivalent of cheese sauce, but you just put a little bit of beer in it to add some flavor. So, you would make a roux. Here's the problem. On this trip, we really tried hard not to buy things that we had to either take home or have extras of. So here's how I'm gonna finesse this. Honey mustard pretzels. And you're gonna say, Clark, that's absolutely crazy. Stick with me here. We're gonna be really open-minded and creative and inventive. And if you're one of my subscribers, I know that you're all of those things and more. You're gonna stick with me here. So I'm just fine chopping this up till I get like a really fine powder. If you had like a meat mallet and could smash it, you could do that. If you have a slap chop, you could use that. Like I said, we're in an Airbnb and living on a prayer. You see this? This is good. I don't think they have a strainer, so where you might just deal with some of the bigger chunks, but into the pan. We don't have butter, so we're just going to try to work with the fat in the cheese, and I have milk. I needed milk for coffee, so we do have that ingredient. I also did bring olive oil, but that's what we're going to substitute for butter for the grilled cheese because we didn't choose to buy butter. So right now we have honey mustard pretzels going on like a medium heat. And I'm going to toast these. I think that might help a little bit too. You're going to have to stick with me, okay? But really, the main reason we need them is one, we lack some seasoning here. I brought salt and pepper. There is oregano and red pepper flakes here. That's it. And adding Dijon mustard or regular yellow mustard is like a really great way to hype up your beer cheese. Gives it a nice balance. So I think that will work really well. You also usually can add a little bit of paprika as well. So we're going to go with the honey mustard and see what she does. Now the base for my beer cheese, because this is Vermont, of course, we're going to do a local Vermont cheddar. I did do Cabot because Cabot is close by, and also I love their products, but we're going to cut it with some Fontina cheese because that's such a good melty cheese. If you're doing fondue, beer cheese, mac and cheese, adding Fontina just really helps things get going when it comes to melting, as opposed to a hard cheddar like this that will just literally crumble apart in your hands. It's a very clean system. These are getting roasty toasty. And then what we're going to do is add about, like a quarter cup of milk. And then I did bring my own whisk because I didn't know if they would have one. They do have one. And they have a sign that says to only use wood or silicone with the pans. No. And then we just want to get the milk to a point where it's kind of like warmed through so we can put the cheese in, because we didn't really make a roux. We added a flour-based product to create a thickening agent for this. And as the pretzels heat up and are in the milk, they're going to continue to break down. So there's not going to be like giant chunks, or if there are chunks of pretzels in them, they'll be soft. So as you eat it, it won't be like a textural nightmare. But we want to add the cheese when the milk is already hot, so that way it can start that meltiness. Same thing is we don't want to seize it either. So this is the point where we're going to go in with our beer. We're going to use a Long Trail Ale. And I like this because it's like a nice neutral beer. I made a TikTok video and a YouTube short about this, that I feel like this beer is the most beer of beers. And then if you put one of these into your beer cheese and have it with your beer cheese, really brings your whole experience together. You'll see that there's a lot of foam in here. We want that to go down. Right now, this is a hot mess. It is milk, beer, and pretzels in a pan. That sounds insane. I did not want to have to put in a lot of effort for this. That's why it's so fun to like go into the lodge, unclip your boots, and enjoy some of these delicious goodies right there. And that's why it's nice if you come off the mountain to just have everything and be able to lay it out and munch on it. Sandwiches, charcuterie, things that are just easy and delicious. More cheese. And if you're asking if you need to shred it like this, yes. It's going to make it so much easier to go into the beer cheese. And you shred it all day. You can shred a little more. And I told you to trust the process. And look at what we got out of this. The most delicious, creamy Vermont beer cheese you've ever seen. Don't you think this is just what winter tastes like? It may not be the most vegetable forward, but it's warm and cozy and delicious. This is the kind of reward that makes you want to actually consider skiing again tomorrow. And if you're gonna do an après-ski, you need to do it right. And this is so right. And that, my friends, is how you après-ski. Are you ready for this? Listen, it's not burnt, it's toasty. See? It's not burnt. They're nice and, they're hot. Oh my God. See, can you see the steam? Probably not. Oh, I know you could see that. I know you could. I felt it. It was... And that, my friends, is how you après-ski. Thank you so much for coming along, relaxing, taking a load off after a wonderful Vermont weekend. And I hope you've enjoyed coming along for the ride. And as always, if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps more than you know. And I always appreciate you coming and sharing at the table with me. So thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you at the table again soon. Bye!